All right. Welcome everyone to this episode of Great Stories Game Talk, right? That's what we.
Yes.
You know what? Let's call it
Gaming
that.
talk.
Game
Talk.
Hey, this is a new segment.
Yeah,
It's a
we're
new
we're
segment
trying
for
new
us.
things.
Yeah, look at us coming out.
Coming back from
swinging.
2020 with new things, new ideas. Let us know what you think.
That's
Do you
some-
like these new
We
things?
got some sick ideas. We got some new ideas going on.
Sick ideas. Are we allowed
It'll
to say
leave
that?
you
Are
breathless.
we? Yeah. Oh man, I
Is
was.
it? I'm sorry. Is it too soon?
All right.
Is it too soon?
It might be too soon.
Oh,
Too soon.
My
You
apologies.
need,
Yeah.
you need some
My apologies,
2020
yeah.
clarity about what you're doing.
Oh, look at you with the puns.
Hey, it's what I do best. As always, I am Phil Hamel, and I am joined by
Chris
Chris
Mills.
and Tyler.
Yes, that's me.
That's Tyler.
He's my
He's
cousin.
bald.
Yeah.
He's bald now.
I'm not. Well, I mean, I have to shave it because. Shut up.
Well, last time you guys probably saw him, he had a full head of hair.
I mean, I usually have my beanie on, so they probably
That's true.
didn't know that I had a full head of hair.
The beanie must have been really hot during these, like when the lights are beating down on you like this.
Oh, when it was like 90
Yeah.
degrees outside,
Yeah.
forget it.
Yeah.
By the way, new lighting in the studio is absolutely primo.
Yeah, it
So,
really is.
yeah,
If you
it-
stare at it for too long, it'll go blind.
Yeah.
Well, don't look at the lights, dummy.
So what are we talking about in this segment?
Yeah.
So we are actually talking about the new adventure module that was made by Wizards of the Coast, the Dungeons and Dragons Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Very nice. Icewind Dale.
Yeah.
What is that?
Icewind Dale? So glad you asked.
So Icewind Dale is an Arctic region,
Okay.
usually found in the Forgotten Realms.
I presumed.
Yeah, obviously. But it's mostly barren, like frozen wastelands. There's a few like minor settlements settled throughout.
Okay.
If you really want to know about more like history and flavor of it, there's a whole bunch of novels that were written in that setting.
Tons.
Um,
By the great R.A. Salvatore.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you ever read them, you can describe it to me.
I don't have time
Do
for
you
that.
know a certain drow? Drizzt?
I can't say that I'm not familiar with him.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Well,
Well,
he was there a lot.
Oh, very nice.
but
yeah.
which prominent character from those novels actually was from Icewind Dale? Little trivia question.
Wolfgar.
Wolfgar, correct.
That's what I was
Yes.
gonna say.
Wolfgar. You'd like Wolfgar. He's a barbarian. He's a human barbarian.
You saying I like barbarians?
Yes, you do.
I do. I do.
I happen to know this as a matter of fact.
I
All
never
right,
played
but
one though.
you have played one.
Have I?
Yeah, in my game.
Oh yeah, the big guy.
Yeah,
I remember him. It was fun.
he was. Too bad you have to play other games, but that's fine. I don't hold it against you. It's all good.
I mean, you only text me like every day about it, but it's fine.
It's called gamer ADD.
Yeah, it really is. Anyway, moving on from that.
Yes.
So this book came out about a month ago.
Yep.
And it was initially pitched to us, the consumers, by Wizards of the Coast as The Thing meets Dungeons and Dragons. And I have not played this adventure yet because obviously it just came out a month ago. Like, I'm not going to have gone through a whole book with a campaign yet.
Not with that attitude, am I right?
I only play 2 times a month.
Wait a minute. So the makers of D&D describe it as The Thing meets Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
So they compared it to their own product.
Well, no, it's a marriage of Dungeons and Dragons and The Thing.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
I thought that would interest you because you are.
Almost
such
seems like a Bob Dole moment, but that's okay.
All right.
You know, he talks about himself in the third person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway.
So, this book is. We're not going to spoil like all the plot points about it because
Just the most important plot points.
I'm just generally going to talk about like the mood and the setting
All right,
about
yeah.
it.
All right.
I suppose it's probably pretty chilly, a little bit dark.
Actually, it's very chilly because
Extremely, yes.
Icewind Dale not only is it an Arctic region, it's also in the midst of a 2.5-year blizzard at this point.
Yes.
There is an entity that is casting this curse, basically to kill all the natural life there, because evil gods be like that.
Good
Pretty
enough.
much.
There's also plot points about evil dwarves that are trying to like stake out a claim on the surface. Like, they live inside mountains. They don't care about outside. They just want to be like out on the surface and be like, hey, we got this. And they're also looking for a magical mineral
Yeah.
called, my gosh, I forgot how to pronounce it.
Charnel? Chardalin?
Chardalin.
Chardalin?
Chardalin.
Chardalin.
Yes,
Hey,
Chardalin.
Which
we
is
didn't have to
essentially
say this.
it's magically crafted ice that does not melt and is as strong as steel in terms of tensile strength. It can be worked with like, with like,
How do you forge it?
you would forge it in Rime fire,
Ah.
which is cold
Okay.
fire, blue fire. In the world of Dungeons and Dragons, they would be called Rime fire.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah,
And the Duergar, the dwarves, the evil dwarves, are
they're
experts in crafting
They're-
materials through
well,
this process?
dwarves in Dungeons and Dragons, just in general,
In
are
general.
masters of all different forms of craft.
Yes.
So to learn how to craft with Chaldron is probably something that they'd have to experiment a little bit with, but the villain of this arc, of the Duergar arc, the Dark Dwarf arc, has perfected that. And he and his minions are going out onto the surface. They're finding places to mine Chaldron. Because it's naturally occurring now in Icewind Dale. Like you can find it and mine it,
Right.
and you get big rocks of it, ice chunks, and they're building something.
Yep.
I know what it is, but it's a big weapon of destruction that they are planning on releasing on the biggest settlement in Icewind Dale, which is called 10 Towns.
Yes.
This is kind of ironic because I literally am running a campaign with your dad in it, actually,
Yes.
where they are currently facing off against a bunch of dark dwarves
He's told
Ah.
me.
that,
How curious.
that are, gathering materials to create a massive weapon
What a
to
coincidence.
wipe out some of the territories to the north. Wow, I accidentally ran Icewind Dale
Oops.
in my home.
Oops,
game.
accidental Icewind Dale.
It's a good. There it is.
See, I knew Wizards was listening in on my work.
They've apparently bugged your office.
His basement.
That's what happened to all of my notes.
Chris Perkins took them.
Just showed up in
trying
the
to give
night
him an
and stole my
upgrade.
All right, so Duergar is the first chapter of
first arc.
the first arc of this campaign.
First arc.
The second campaign are a bunch of wizards are looking for an acropolis,
Yes.
a dead city from one of the earliest ages where these very powerful spellcrafters created spells that even the gods were afraid of. So the gods were like,
Yep.
yeah, we're not, no, that's not allowed.
It's a pretty good idea.
And they just slapped that floating city out of the sky and it got buried somewhere in Icewind Dale.
Yes.
I like that. That's a good idea.
It's the
Yeah.
Arcane
Yeah,
Brotherhood,
probably
was it?
Take some notes
Yes,
down,
the
maybe.
Arcane Brotherhood.
Yes.
They're looking
if I
for
can-
Netherese ruins.
That's right.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like
Well, I definitely won't use that for my campaign.
Oh, absolutely. Go
it's
for
like
it.
Atlantis except in the air.
And the
Yeah.
Earth.
kind of,
It was
right?
Atlantis in the sky, but now it's out
Atlantis
of the
in the
sky
sky.
and in the earth.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like if
Kind
it,
of neat.
yeah. All right,
Is that the thing in the ice moment? I don't know.
maybe.
Perhaps.
And the last one is the evil entity that's controlling this blizzard, this curse, called the Everlasting Rime, and it's the party's job to try and find this creature, this entity, and destroy it.
All right. Excellent. Sounds like a pretty
That's
interesting.
that is in broad strokes the book.
Is this a starting level 1
Yes.
campaign? Okay.
Yes.
So if you are, looking to start a brand new campaign starting from level 1,
Yes.
you can create a character and hone them specifically to this world.
Exactly.
You could. It goes through level 11, actually. So
Yes,
it's
from
pretty
levels 1
broad
to 11.
range. Yeah.
And then after this, you can have them go to anywhere else. They can leave Icewind Dale, or they can stay up there and I don't know, fight Yetis and
Now-
Sasquatches.
Now, what prevents them from just leaving Icewind Dale in the first place?
It is presumed that if Icewind Dale was to be completely frozen over and this entity isn't stopped, they can just keep expanding the blizzard.
Okay, so there's your motivation for
There's your
wanting
motivation
wanting
to stop this, because if it doesn't stop with Icewind Dale, it can move to all over the Forgotten Realms until it's just a big ball of frozen material and everything is dead.
Okay.
Yep, and
So are there new characters or new classes that are introduced in this
not
story?
really new classes, but they
Okay.
do have ways of kind of like races that have already been like introduced into the game, like the Goliaths and barbarians. They kind of give a bit more into like flavors of like their culture and how these races live in Icewind Dale.
Yep.
Like Goliaths are like giant cousins who thrive in the cold, and they're like natural wanderers. They're nomads. So they would normally, like, before the blizzard came, they would follow like the elk and the buffalo, like to hunt and track.
Okay.
But since the blizzard started happening, they've been the animals there have been kind of migrating south to escape the cold, and now the Goliath are they're starving. They're having a hard time acclimating because all of their lifestyle is now just gone. So like they face a quandary of like, do we move down with them and go into warmer climates where we're not as comfortable,
Right.
or do we stay here and try to adapt? And giants are pretty stubborn in of themselves, and that doesn't exclude the Goliaths. So so
Okay.
yeah, like there's flavor for like how to, like, if you have a Goliath in your party, like maybe they would know how to talk to the Goliaths and be like, hey, moving down south might not be as bad an idea as you think. Like there's interesting plot points.
What's going on here?
Oh, jeez. That.
What?
I wasn't expecting. Who are you?
Oh, this guy. I know who this guy is.
Dude,
What
You
are
know
you
who I
doing
am?
here?
I'm Grant Stonefist. I've been
Oh, is
waiting for
he,
you.
is he one of the
What?
dark dwarves you were talking about earlier?
Dark dwarf. Do I look like a dark dwarf to you?
I don't know. I can't see you. You're covered.
Oh.
Hey, can we get some security in here? I don't understand why we have this intrusion
this
on the
guy-
You
set.
know, you guys are talking about dwarves and how awesome we are. I know.
Awesome.
I think we're.
You know what's
You're
not
talking
awesome? You
about-
interrupting this program.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, let's get him out of
Wait,
here.
wait,
Yeah,
hey,
let's,
wait a
Watch,
second. Hey,
watch the mace. Don't get hurt now.
hey, get out of here.
Ridiculous.
Leave me alone.
Oh, this was.
Hey, I have rights.
Get out of here,
Stupid dwarves. Nobody likes dwarves.
you
half-sized terrorist. Get
out of here.
That got real out of nowhere. I'm sorry about that, folks.
Okay. Well,
Well,
can we?
can we close the curtain back
Can we
up?
get that curtain closed back up? Hey. So that was interesting.
Oh, that was,
I don't even know. Where do we just leave off? What the heck was that all about?
I have no idea. If that was weird, comment below.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, don't people lock doors around here? I guess we need to start to do that, right?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Where were we? We were.
Get my mic back on here. Sorry, folks.
It's okay.
We apologize for the interruption in the programming. I
Yeah,
don't know
go-
quite what to say about this.
I don't either.
All right.
We're gonna just continue and pretend like it never happened.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
Goliaths and their culture. and, like,
Goliath. That's right. Okay. Right.
So yeah, like they have.
Should I call the cops right now?
Probably.
I think it's okay.
I think they took care of it.
I think it's okay.
Okay. All right.
Hello. I started shrinking all of a sudden.
Your chair just got dwarf sized there.
Yeah, it really
Anyway.
did.
All right.
Do you have a question or?
No, actually, I'm trying to get my faculties back here after that interruption. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this book also has like guides of like what races are normally found in 10 towns,
Okay.
different breeds of, different racial variations of dwarves, elves, halflings, humans, your more standard, typical fantasy races. All in all, like I really like the way the book's set up.
Yep.
You're like, hey, these are the races that you're probably gonna find. There's also like, there's like detailed locations about like all the places in 10
Right.
towns. Like it's not all just like, here's a map, go nuts.
So it kind of has a nice balance between like a kind of sandbox and railroad feel.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does.
Very
And
concrete mile markers for where the party
where the
should
story
be heading,
should be going.
but with enough like breathable room where they don't feel like they're just
going
tracked.
point to point to point
Yes.
to point. Like
Right.
there is enough variety for them to your players to feel like they have freedom of choice.
Right.
Which D&D is all about that. So like I'm
Exactly.
absolutely on board with that.
Yep.
Not like Tyranny of the Dragons.
Yeah.
That was just a big old railroad.
That was a big roll railroad.
Um,
What I love about each one of the new books that they produce is, like back in the day, you got, when I first started playing, this is like back in the 80s, you got modules that were pretty thin, right? They were thin form.
Yep.
But they released monsters, like all the stuff that with threats to the party would be released in these volumes. So you do have like a monster manual in the 5th edition, but back in that day, all the monsters were released as compendiums. They were,
the
basically
creature compendiums.
Exactly. You had Monster Manual 1, Monster Manual 2, you had a Fiend Folio,
Yeah.
and it just kind of went from there. But with every single module that they're producing now, they're, sometimes releasing the new classes,
Right,
and sometimes, and also, new creatures. So you're expanding your breadth of
Was that
creatures
3
based upon
kobolds
the
in a
adventure.
suit?
Yes.
That is hilarious to me. That
Because
is
I actually
fantastic.
found out about this recently. Kobolds are actually like secretly really good at illusion magic.
Really?
And when they go to the surface to like trade with people, oh, I need a diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces, and there's like a stranger who happens to have that kind of diamond worth that much money.
Yeah.
Chances are that was probably a kobold.
Huh.
That's kind of funny. I have a
Interesting.
friend that says whenever she's criticized for something that she does poorly, she just says, well, I'm just 3 raccoons in a suit. That's why. And so seeing this
Yeah.
immediately made me laugh.
That is kinda
That is
cool.
awesome. Just 3 kobolds in
I like-
in
3
a coat.
kobolds in a suit.
I like that. I like that.
But yeah, there's also like, to kind of follow up with what you were saying about
Yeah.
like the creatures, you have like, it's not just monsters. There's also like
No.
new animals. Like,
Animals, a hare, like the step
hare.
walk
They
for
have
that.
trout that is
Yeah.
like indigenous to Icewind Dale.
Yes.
The knucklehead trout.
Yep.
These big,
Yeah, they really go.
big-headed fish.
They go deep and comprehensive.
Yes.
They're not just
And then you get to like, this is my favorite thing from this book: living spells, like magic that actually acts of its own volition.
Yes.
Like, that's crazy. That's awesome. And then there's also like new constructs.
And my favorite, the brain in the jar.
That's very Lovecraft, very The Thing.
Yes. Love that.
Just a sentient brain living in a jar.
Yeah.
Is that a mind flayer mimic?
I believe it is actually. It's
What is that?
This
Yeah.
there.
No, that is a
Oh, okay, I
gnome.
see.
It's a.
I saw the mind flayer right here. I mean, I saw the mind flayer.
Well, it's a
and then I
type
saw a
of-
mimic over here.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, this is specifically, this is like a
See-
mind flayer gnome.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's also kind of funny.
It's because it's like, oh gosh, it's a terrible mind flayer. This Cthulhu like.
How about this
thing.
thing? We're gonna have to show you some close-ups of some of these things, in the video when it's produced. But a cold light walker, like, what is that all about?
That is The Thing.
That-
That's literally just the title card of The Thing.
Yeah,
Like just put The Thing right there, and it's literally.
that's
the,
creepy.
Yeah.
That is creepy as all get out. So, yeah, this is a very exciting book. It almost makes me regret that to the 2 campaigns that I'm running, we just started.
A brand new one.
You're brand new, and so it's going
I-
to take me a while to get to this.
I
this
still
gem.
have to run an
you know?
entire Avernus campaign, so
Well, luckily for me,
Yep.
I'm actually running a horror themed campaign at the shop. With my current players, we're switching from traditional fantasy to grim horror fantasy,
Okay.
and I already have another book to go with this. So if my players ever decide to go north,
Yep. You
I
have
will
something
have
to blend
a
into
module to blend grim
Nice.
fantasy with eldritch horror fantasy.
That is awesome.
Also,
That is
the
awesome.
best monsters been introduced:
sperm whale.
sperm whale.
There we go. Moby Dick in the house.
Yes. Like, look at this.
Oh,
That is actually the thing.
that is gross.
That's actually kind of awesome.
So all sorts of frozen terror going on here. So let us know if you've actually begun running Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, and tell us your thoughts on the adventure. There's plenty of good material out there right now that Dungeons & Dragons through Wizards of the Coast is producing. I mean, I'm running a Dragon Heist campaign right now, as well as a Curse of Strahd. Curse of Strahd may be one of the best modules ever written, so I want to see how Icewind Dale measures up to that.
I underlined.
But we would love to get your thoughts. And once again, we pardon the interruption in our video. We will try not to let that happen
was
again.
something
That was
special.
really like disconcerting. So thanks
That was
everyone.
scary.
Yeah. Take care everyone, and we'll I guess see you soon.